Good evening, Shrike Club. I had my microphone muted, but tonight we are going on a tour of my dwarf fortress. The place is called Applejest. I was playing with the word generation, and I thought that naming it after a My Little Pony would be very funny, and I was correct. Alright, we're about to get loaded in here. Let's F1 up to the top, if it will load. There we go. Alright, let's go zoomed out a little bit. So, welcome to Applejest. I have just a little trade road. This was a bunch of overflow wood that I didn't want them hauling all the way down, you'll see. I was just trying to get some of this puke cleaned up on the surface because the rain doesn't clear it if there's trees above it. So that's a fun dwarf fortress fact. Up here I just have some little gardens. The bladeweed is really good for bright green dye, so I like that a lot. My trade depot is made of gold. Does not look like it. It just looks like wood. It looks like shit. I need to change it. I have a couple statues, specifically with leaders of the fortress, of my mayor, Sigun. And this one is Inod, who was the expedition leader. No longer is, obviously, because we have a mayor. Inod is currently... What's your job? Just a miner. Hanging out. We'll go visit this part of the fortress later. On floor 1, I have a nice patch of cave moss and some llamas, a couple of donkeys, horses, etc. Little barracks. I read that you're supposed to keep them close to the surface for easy defense, which I guess has helped until there's a forgotten beast. Also, currently at my trading depot are some elves, the elves that like me. There are elves that like me up here, and there are elves that really don't like me over here. I actually just got through a siege of about 75 elves, which is why my refuse pile looks like that. Elf corpses. But yeah, like I said, this is where I had my starter farms. They're down in the caverns now. I'm mostly working with llamas and alpacas down here on the next floor. I have a bunch of chickens. I just brought up a bunch of chickens because the ones that I have kind of shit traits. The hens, at least. Like, there's just kind of nothing going on there. So I wanted to see if I could roll anything better. Which, you know, time will tell. Second barracks here, and then upper layer hospital. This is my archery barracks. This was going to be a swimming pool, but I haven't figured out how to make it work yet. I need to teach these guys how to swim really bad. This is just a random room. I was storing random finished goods there. Over here you can see where my windmills channel down into... Here's my mist generator. Which is what is powered by those windmills. And down here is the first main floor, first big rock layer under the aquifer. So there's a lot going on. You'll see I have an extreme surplus of food. I don't really know how to make that stop happening. Over here I have my tavern here, my big food pile, my big dining hall, kitchens. Second major hospital. This is the primary hospital that I use. Nice little well. It draws its water from way down below, but works very nicely for me. I have a whole bunch of soap. Over here I have offices for like the mayor and stuff. These are both temples. This is the major religion of the fort. Let's see, I forget what it's called. I believe it's called the Communion of Gloss. Yes. The high priest is called the Holy Goal. And over here I have my library, which is full of all kinds of fun characters. Do I see Beastbiter? I'm gonna keep an eye out for Beastbiter. He's my favorite dwarf. Do I see Arab? I also don't see Arab. Thultig is nice. That's my manager. Has been with us since the very beginning. one of our very first dwarves. That's not Bee Spider, just has the same beard. A couple of random peahens and a goose just roaming. That's not Arab. Same ponytail, not Arab. I'm just looking for my favorite dwarves here. Lead is alright. Lead's a good brewer. And stone carver. Oh, and I also want to keep an eye out for the queen. I really like the queen. Licot, I also like. One of my legendary planters. I have 4. These are also temples up here. And this is the cop office. What's his name? Captain of the Guard's office. I don't really prosecute a lot of crimes in this fort. This is one of the humans that just lives here and is naked all the time because they refuse to take the extra large clothing I make for them, so I stopped trying. Yeah, there are a couple of humans that live here as monster slayers. Yeah, they are all naked because this fort, you'll notice it's year 140. This fort started in spring of 121. So, yeah, you see a couple random tunnels. That's because I wanted the lignite, and I did not want to clean up after myself. Down here is my main production area. I have wood, stone, crafts, jewels, this kind of mess. I need to make another room here for the clay, because I've been trading with the elves to get lots of that. This cat I like, Mamooz, what is lost all use of his legs, or her legs, but used to belong to the guy who started a massive brawl in the fort, and I had to exile because he was about to start another brawl. That is not the queen. Where is she? She's always wearing green. But yeah, this is my main production area, main furniture area, and first set of bedrooms. I like doing 2x2s. Down here is the queen's rooms. She's not here right now. And this was my baron's room. He was killed in the brawl incident. And here's where I'm keeping the treasures of the gods off of the queen's room. I only have one so far. It is Nagurngug. It is a multicolored metal pike. It's pretty cool. It's got gold floors and platinum walls and such. This is just a small tavern that was meant to be part of the Baron's room before he died. Reg, he was a great Baron. He was a cook. He was gay. Again, the brawl incident. Terrible, terrible stuff. Down here, this fucking mess. God only knows what's up with that. That's all where I keep all the rocks and the wood. Over here, my farmer's workshops, cloth production, dye. Over here is my doctor's guild hall, and I don't remember which guild hall this one is. Gilded labor is, hold on, what was that? Oh, that's my crafts dwarves, and this is the farmer's guild hall. Did I have another one up here? No, I didn't. Oh, yeah. This is my woodworkers guild hall and my stoneworkers guild hall. I just figured it would be nice to keep them next to the workshops where I can. Down another floor, we have soap production right here. I could probably move the clay stuff down to here, honestly, because I have a room dug out. I'm converting all the bedroom walls to jet because I like how it looks, but that is a work in progress for right now, as you can see. Down here is the rooms for the outpost liaison, Vabok. Where the hell is Bee Spider? That's my dungeon master, Abuz. I thought I would have run into Bee Spider by now. Maybe I totally missed him. Oh, that's one of my miners. Oh, there she is. There's my queen. Fath. She is a lot of fun. She has 2 kids at the moment. Geshud and Meng. Her husband, Atis, started the brawl incident. But I like Fath. She's always wearing green. I think that's her favorite color, maybe. We can actually tell. She likes the color buff. Okay, well, I'm not bothering to dye any cloth buff colored in this fortress. So she likes green second most, I guess, and hates worms. She just kind of, I let her hang around because she's funny. She's an orderly and doctor. She's got all sorts of memories here that are fun to read. No sign of Bee Spider, though. Bee Spider is called that because he once killed a legendary beast, or a forgotten beast, by biting it to death, and I thought that was really cool. So going back down a little more, I have more bedrooms. These ones need to become jet, and just a secondary furniture stockpile for like bedroom furniture. Down here are the tombs. I engraved the floor if it's a soldier, which total death toll on this fort so far is 33, I believe, which is really not all that bad. And one war dog. I have a little pet graveyard here, and the prisons are over here. I very rarely use them. Again, no cops in this fort. Down one more is the old metal production. I have overproduced metal so badly. But this is generally abandoned now as I have moved it down to lava level. No bee spider. That's a shame. We'll find him. Down one more, I have a small barracks. I am taming these unicorns over here just because I thought it would be fun. Yeah, that's a whole lot of fun to me. And nobody interesting here. I kind of collect webs here. We are down into the first cavern lair where many dwarves have been slain. Yeah, this is just a bunch of magnetite that I have not bothered with. I have this whole cavern lair. All entrances are completely sealed off, so nothing can get me here anymore, with the exception of a couple spots where I just like box them in and make it target practice. This one I had to seal off because there is deadly dust all on the floor, and I lost two dwarves to that. So no more deadly dust. I'm kind of tired of it. This one is target practice, though. If I go down a bit further, this was part of the minecart track that I dug through an aquifer. As you can see, that's the first minecart track I chose to dig, and I was insane for that. That was a bad idea. That took so fucking long. Jesus Christ. But as you can see, it went from the metal production area down a little closer to where I was pulling out the metals. So I was reducing some of the hauling because, oh my god, these dwarves were hauling so bad. They were like starving to death, basically. If you go down a little further, oh, I thought that was Bee Spider. That's not Bee Spider. Jesus Christ. We'll find him. This is another minecart track going down to Cavern 2. I tripled it because the one minecart was really slow. This is just cavern. Oh, this was a secondary bedrooms that I started building that were way higher quality. I never really moved anybody in there, though. This is another tavern and dining hall and kitchen. I should really move in some cats over that. Yeah, that'd be a smart idea, wouldn't it? So if I keep following the minecart track down, there's not really. There's a firing range for the bolt thrower here, just so I can train some people up. But that's not very interesting. And down here is Cavern Layer 2. I have another tavern, another kitchen over here, just because I don't want them to be too far from food at any given time. Someone made an artifact in one of these recently, which was weird. I haven't seen them taking any workshops outside of that main production floor before. But yeah, this is my Cavern 2. This is also completely sealed off. All entrances and exits are sealed, except for these couple. I have to get to this guy eventually. Haven't gotten around to it yet. He's not hurting anybody. He can't get out. See? Nowhere for him to go. Bunch of crundles over here. Yeah, nowhere for them to go. No problem. But we can keep going. There's another minecart track. Somebody died here. Yeah, rip, Rao. Sorry about that, buddy. He bled out pretty much instantly. But here is Cavern Layer 3. Let me unsuspend that. And yeah, Cavern Layer 3 scares me. I have really not done very much of anything down here. Other than exploiting this little bit of lava to run all of these smelters, which is where my new metal production area is. Another dining hall, another food hall. This is Forgotten Beast meat. This used to be 400. They're eating good off this. But yeah. This is the site of a massacre. So many, I think like 3 or 4 dwarves died to the hungry heads. That was fucked up. I don't want to go back down here. Even if there's a lot of resources that I would really like. But yeah, this is as far down as I've gotten. Negative 73. Yeah, Cavern Layer 3. I haven't been pushing my luck. I know there's further down I could be going, and that's where all the adamantium and shit is, but not yet. I'm playing this fort very slowly. But yeah, this is my dwarf fortress. Hopefully that has been interesting somewhat. And lastly, I am going to find Bee Spider. Where is he? Bee Spider, my guy. He was in the trash pile all along. Sorry, that was probably loud. Oh, he's hauling the giant I just killed into the pile. See? Alright, but yeah, this guy, the reason it says he's a militia captain is because I made him a one-man squad to fight this Forgotten Beast in 124, and he fucking did it. He lost his foot, but he's a true champ. He's a legendary crouch walker. He doesn't give a fuck. Level 84. Yeah, I love this guy. This is my favorite guy. He was one of my original guys, Spring 121. And he's just very funny to me. That's my favorite dwarf. Alright, good night, everybody.